What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
But never mind. Feldway, like a terrible antagonist, was attacking Velgrynd with spatial domination, which even an awakened demon lord struggled to resist. Velgrynd, who was injured and feeble, did not appear to have the strength to oppose it.
Velgrynd has vanished from this realm due to space-time transfer. There are now only 2 true dragons left. Rudra, no, Sir Michael, you're off to a good start.
Feldway addressed Rudra as Michael once more. Velgrynd's prediction seems to have come true. Despite the unexpected nature of the situation, Benimaru and Diablo attempted to react promptly. However, I quickly used a telepathy net to stop them. Phantom King Feldway was difficult to comprehend, but I also did it because I was curious to see how Rudra would respond to the name Michael. Furthermore, I could see it. I noticed a strange fluid leaking from Rudra's body. It clung on Velgrynd, as though trying to protect itself. And it appeared that all of that strange fluid had vanished from Rudra's body. This reaction is very...
Not bad. The power of Velgrynd is now mine, and Rudra has vanished. All we have to do now is use the power of Veldora and Velzard to complete his revival.
Rudra, now called Michael, accepted this naturally. It had now been confirmed. Michael, not Rudra, was my adversary. And his objective was to fully revive Veldanava, the Star King Dragon.
This is a good thing, Sir Michael.
Velzard is manageable, but it's Veldora that causes problems.
So their chat went on. They seemed unconcerned about Benimaru and the others. That was, however, to be expected. Xian and Testarossa, who had not been stopped, attacked at the same time, but their attacks were all intercepted by the castle guard. Feldway, of course, was unharmed because he was also shielded. How inconvenient. However, that wasn't the main issue at hand.
Rudra! Isn't that Rudra? The fragments, the bits of his soul are still there!
I had assumed that only I could perceive it, but Velgrynd appears to have picked up on it as well. It turned out that Velgrynd intended to find what was remained of Rudra. I had wondered if she could see them.
Calm down.
Shut up! If we don't get over there quickly, the pieces will vanish!
Despite her hostile appearance, she was crying and wailing like a spoiled child. I extended the time by employing thought acceleration. Then Velgrynd and I made our own world.
Please calm down. If you go out now, you'll end up back under Rudra's influence.
But...
I'm confident you understand what you're doing, but you'll be stuck there after that. With no certainty of ever returning to this world, saving Rudra is pointless. It might even be impossible.
If you keep acting like this, you'll have no future.
Stop talking! So, what exactly do you want me to do? I can't abandon Rudra like this.
Velgrynd's actual feelings were revealed. It was Ciel's voice, not mine, but she hadn't realized and had erupted in rage.
The chance still exists.
What?
If you agree to my skill alteration.
It was a tempting offer. It was no longer required to wait for the response.
I agree, so long as it fulfills my wish.
It seemed reasonable to me that Velgrynd would respond in this manner. A voice reverberated out as Velgrynd agreed.
The will of Velgrynd has been confirmed. The first step is to remove the interference from Charity King Regel.
Velgrynd relaxed as she listened. She thoroughly checked her own body, directed by the voice, and discovered that she had actually found it. There were indications of interference with Charity King Regule etched deep in her heart. It was now blocked, but leaving it there was extremely risky. So this was the reason. Velgrynd understood as well. She remembered at the same time. The Regalia Dominion had a counterpart to the ultimate skill, Justice King Michael. It was a memory she had heard a long time ago. Among the powers established by Veldanava, the most pure were known as the Angelic System, and all of them were subject to the ultimate control of the Justice King Michael. This was known as the Ultimate Dominion. Charity King Regule, by Velgrynd, was no exception. It was connected to Justice King Michael via a very tight corridor, and there was no escape from its effect. I know, how could I have forgotten? My brother could not be defeated by the holders of the angelic lineage's ultimate skill. He despised it the most, which is why he exchanged Rudra's Covenant King Uriel for it. It was also clear why she had been dominated. It would have been nearly hard for her to resist if her brother Veldanava had designed the system.
I truly have no future. Rimuru was correct.
Velgrynd wanted to cry. But then, a weird voice interrupted Velgrynd just as she was about to give up.
The Charity King Regel preparations have been completed. It will be combined with the no longer required Covenant King Uriel.
Huh?
Velgrynd nearly yelled. It was only normal for her to behave in this manner. The Covenant King Uriel, she and Rudra had been hunting for was discovered in such a location. Or, more accurately, Velgrynd had only just noticed. Rimuru's voice was not the one she had been hearing. It wasn't just a simple audio hallucination, but a strong and distinct voice of will. It was quite reminiscent of Voice of the World, but softer, more refined, and with a sense of tenderness. There were many questions she wanted to ask, but the one she needed to ask right now was what the words meant.
Wait! You're offering me the Covenant King Uriel? Or, more specifically, what do you mean by integrated?
If you have no choice but to obey the Justice King Michael as it is, you can halt the change. I discovered a control circuit in the Covenant King Uriel, and decided to utilize it as inspiration to design a new skill, specifically for you while discarding it.
It was a ridiculous response, full of foolish nonsense. But Velgrynd was just concerned with one question.
If you do that, I'll be able to find Rudra, right?
That is a possibility.
There was no reason to hold off if it was possible. Velgrynd agreed, hopeful in her heart. No, it was previously guaranteed.
Your intentions have been reaffirmed, thus there is no need for a second acceptance, Velgrynd. I'm going to use skill alteration.
Ciel's voice had no intention of stopping. When Ciel used skill alteration, an incredible burst of power flowed through Velgrynd's body. Then it slowly wrapped around her entire body.
Charity King Rigel and Covenant King Uriel from Scorched Dragon Velgrynd will be combined and transformed into the ultimate skill Divine Flame King Thua. Successful.
Ciel stated with high spirits, in a whimsical and serious voice. Velgrynd was instantly released from all bonds. My Covenant King Uriel was transferred out just as I was nodding in agreement to Ciel's statements. It was my fault for providing permission, but I was still astonished. Covenant King Uriel had been the pinnacle of my connections with my comrades.
No worries. What went into Charity King Rigel was simply the leftovers from Covenant King Uriel. Its essence has been passed down to the new power of Harvest King Shub Niggurath.
I have a lot of questions. Ciel Sensei, I have a feeling, is up to a lot of fantastic things without my knowing. I was too scared to ask, but the only thing that mattered right now was Velgrynd. I was relieved to hear she had made it.
Well done, Velgrynd. It's now safe to let you leave.
She scowled at me with a harsh expression as I stated this with a smile. It wasn't that I didn't know why, so I softly averted my gaze.
I have a lot of questions for you, but not right now. So, are you letting me leave now?
I nodded because there didn't appear to be a problem. Ciel stated that giving Velgrynd the Covenant King Uriel had made her sensitive to Rudra's soul, making identifying and retrieving the soul fragments possible. I thought to myself when I heard that. Ciel may have been referring to the core of Rudra's heart, the Covenant King Uriel. If that's the case, Velgrynd had always been with Rudra. I wasn't sure if it was possible to find Rudra's soul, which was strewn around the world, but I had a hunch Velgrynd could.
Alright, then, let's release you for the time being.
And just like that, the three of us were transported from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. We said our goodbyes, still aware of the passage of time.
Thank you so much, Rimuru. I apologize for causing you so much trouble.
It was true. There were so many things I wanted to complain about. However, I remained silent out of fear of offending her.
I don't think you need to be concerned about being lost now that you're connected by the parallel existence. I know it'll be difficult after that, but best of luck.
I maintained a safe level of support. But then,
Sister, I'm here even if it doesn't work out. So, instead of being depressed, just do your best.
with a wide smile, Veldora said. He was really outstanding in his ability to speak in any situation. Velgrynd appears to have been perplexed by this. And her response was,
You really are an idiot. Little brother is foolish, stupid, and cute. I'm relieved you're okay.
Velgrynd grinned shyly after that. She then looked at me again for some reason. I was too afraid to move a muscle after being viewed up close by attractive women. When she saw how confused I looked, she shook her head in frustration.
I'll see you later, then.
Velgrynd then departed with a spirited transport. That's all there is to it. The next step was to assist Benimaru and the others.
Are you coming, too?
Of course, I am.
After less than a minute, the assault on Michael was still ongoing. It wasn't enough to get past the castle guard, but it was the proper thing to do. This was due to the fact that the moment you stopped attacking, the enemy would begin their own. It was also the reason Benimaru and Diablo sat on the sidelines instead of intervening to stop Xian and the others. Only two were the enemies. Taking them down here was tempting, but I knew an attempt on Michael would fail as long as the castle guard was there. However, the circumstances are the same for everyone.
How weak! Your strikes will be ineffective against Sir Michael.
Feldway, who was smiling brightly, was attempting to activate his powers in between attacks. The Phantom King didn't seem to be exaggerating when he said he was going to toss all of my pals into the void at once.
Goodbye, everybody. I don't think we'll see each other again, but, what?
I was also looking for the exact moment the attack was launched. I emerged on the battlefield to disrupt Feldway.
Rimuru, the Demon Lord.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Feldway, the Phantom King.
When I responded sarcastically, his smile vanished.
Some country hick with no sense of etiquette?
I don't need to be reminded of this by an aggressor who desperately wants to live in the city.
When I pushed him farther, his face became a blank mask. I assume he was the type who didn't get worked up and kept his wrath under control. They were the most difficult opponents to cope with. Michael, who had been quietly listening to our chat, casually interrupted at that point.
Wasn't it you who was hiding and watching me? I assumed you were trying to find a way to sacrifice your buddies so you could run away.
He was more than half right, but I wasn't about to put my buddies at risk. So, whatever.
I don't give a damn what you think. Shall we just get this over with?
You're a brave man, but do you really believe you can beat me?
No one knows. But allow me to offer you some advice. I realize that your rule entails complete control over the angelic skills and that no one is able to penetrate the castle guard as long as people have faith in you. There's nothing else to say. Don't you think you'd lose your advantage if we turned the Empire into a scorched earth and killed every last living thing?
This was pure bluffing. I had no plans to go that far. However, if I were to weigh the sacrifices of my companions against this, I would do so without hesitation. I had planned for it for a long time.
It appears that I, too, underestimated you. Shouldn't we be enemies?
You're correct. I have nothing to do with great ideals or noble missions. I can understand some of your objectives. That's why you can do whatever you want as long as you don't interfere with me.
Although it was now too late, Michael, now that he had lost control, would undoubtedly bring us disaster. It was still fine for the time being, but Seal projected that there will be conflicts of interest in the future. All I had to do in that circumstance was believe it and act on it. Michael remained silent, possibly thinking. In that scenario, I decided to inform him of my plans.
If you try to harm me or my people, I will crush you so hard that you will never be able to do anything stupid again.
I'd instill terror in their hearts. I had no way of breaking the castle guard at the moment. I did, however, have my reliable buddy Seal. I was certain it would find a method to defeat it.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Ruben, Luis Cairo, Yuki Iki, Pedro Robles, Chris Jr., Isaac, Koala King 93, Paul DeGrassi, Little 95, Havox, Speed Saber, James Waters, Dijo, Mose Chaudhary. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.